Hey, Mr. Retro back again. And this month from Video Game Monthly, I got 2 boxes. And I didn't plan on it. So let's jump in and check them out. All right, so I have 2 boxes in this month, and one is a little lighter than the other and feels like it has smaller things. They're sliding around. So this one I'm going to open up that feels a little heavier and a little like it's packed more full. So I'm assuming they would be bigger games. Now I have a few ideas as to what the second box is, but I'm not entirely sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up both packages and then kind of take a quick peek inside both of the boxes. And then if it is what I think it is, then I will open them up in a certain order. If it's not, then I'm just gonna open up both at the same time and I'll just kind of go back and forth. But besides that, Video Games Monthly is awesome. They are a subscription-based service where if you like retro games like I do, and you would like to, get more in your collection, you can go to their website, which I will have linked in the description box below, and you can set up an account and see, if you have certain systems, you can put in what systems you have and what other games you already have for that system. And then they will send you, depending on what subscription tier you go for, they will send you an amount of games that you don't have, and you get to keep them, which is super awesome. You get to keep these games. They come once a month, usually towards like the first week of the month. I'm kind of late posting this video because life happens, but they usually come within the first week or so. And yeah, it's not super expensive, and it's really cool just to get surprised by some retro games. And they go from the Atari all the way up now to the PS3 and Xbox 360. And they even do some imports, like the Famicom, which is Japan's Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES. They do Super Famicom, SNES, or Super Nintendo. They even do the Japanese Nintendo 64, which is super cool. So if you're into any of that stuff, you can go ahead and check out their website. So I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I just really love their whole program, and I think they're super cool. So let me get this all organized. So now I have both boxes. This one's the lighter one, if you heard it rattling around. This one's a little heavier, a little bulkier one. There's Floyd, their mascot, right there on the front, and videogamesmonthly.com. All right, so I'm going to take a quick peek in each one. Okay. And then over here. Okay, I think I know what it is. Okay, so I'm gonna open up this one first, and then we'll go to this one. And this one is gonna be a lot of fun. And I'll tell you more about it once I get to it. But let's start with this one. So, what's really cool about Video Games Monthly, I get 5 games per month. Because that's all my wife allows me to spend. And sometimes they do add in more games. Every once in a while they'll throw in like 1 extra or 2 extra, or however many extra, and you get a little card that says 1 up, 2 up. It doesn't happen every month, but it's pretty cool when they do that. So also something to look into. First thing on here, your little card, you can win 3 free games by sharing your month's box openings with a picture on their Facebook page, on their social media. It just says Facebook. And so you could win 3 free games, and 2 random winners will receive 3 free games in their next month's box. So they kind of choose people. They do a lot of drawings. A lot of times you can buy extra boxes, which is pretty cool. This is also their thank you card. All right, let's jump in. This is a Sega Dreamcast game. This is Choo Choo Rocket for the Sega Dreamcast. And I don't have a lot of Sega Dreamcast games, so this is really cool. This is an online multiplayer game. That's what it says. Doubt that it works anymore. At least the online multiplayer parts. But yeah, let me show you a close-up. This is still in the packaging. It's still plastic wrapped anyway. I don't know if it's original plastic wrap or not, but it's still plastic wrapped. So I'll give you a close up there. Now, that's pretty cool. I love getting Dreamcast games because you don't see them a whole lot, like at garage sales. You kind of have to go to a vintage store to see stuff. So when I see stuff on like swap and shops, I usually don't see a lot of Dreamcast stuff. I see a lot of PlayStation, a lot of Xbox, even some Nintendo, but not a lot of Dreamcast, not a lot of Sega stuff out there, at least in the swap and shop in my area. So the next game I see, oh, this is hard to read. Cycross for the Nintendo Entertainment System. If I said that wrong, I will put that down there, but I think it's Cycross. The logo is really weird, and I'll show you a close-up here. You kind of see how weird that the lettering is, and so I think it's Cycross. Looks like a racing game. I've never played it before. Cart looks to be in really good shape, and yeah, it looked like there's probably a label here or something on the back, and they just kind of tore it off. So that's not a big deal. I'm not one to, I don't have my carts don't have to be super clean. I do like a nice clean label and a cart that isn't dinged up or anything. But when it comes to the caution tag on the back, it's not a huge deal for me. So Cycross, I think. All right, so now we come to the thing that they usually throw in. They usually throw in something that has their logo and website on it. Sometimes it's sunglasses, a laser pointer, or something. This month it looks like to be like a little disc, like a frisbee, that you can throw and have fun. So my kids will have fun with that. That'll be cool. I see Shrek Fairy Tale Freakdown for the Game Boy Color. Love Game Boy Color games. So I've actually gotten a couple Shrek games recently. So Shrek Fairy Tale Freakdown. Yes, Fairy Tale Freakdown. The label looks pretty good. A couple little scuffs on there. The whole cart looks pretty good. And let me show you a close-up. But yeah, it looks really good. Good shape. So with a lot of their stuff, you get a lot of really cool games, and a lot of games you probably have never played before, just because, a certain console's library just might be huge. And the Wii has a huge library, and I've never actually played this game on the Wii. Punch-Out! This is the update, and it's been updated. There was Punch-Out on the Nintendo Entertainment System, and they brought back Little Mac for the Wii in his own game. Now, with games in boxes like this, in cases like this, I like to open it up and I can feel the weight in there, so I kind of have some good suspicions that the manual is in there. I love getting manuals with my games. It just makes it one less thing to track down later. So, and I do see a manual. Awesome. So I see the manual, and I see the Club Nintendo insert, and I see another insert, like a little advertisement insert, which is pretty cool. Pretty neat getting all that stuff. And now I gotta look at the disc. And the disc looks pretty good, just normal wear. When a disc is in the disc drive, sometimes it'll rock a little bit and it might get some scratches off the lens and things. So this looks to be in pretty good shape. So probably very playable, which is super awesome. Let me look here. All right, now my nerdiness is going to be showing here a little bit. This is Advanced Dungeons and Dragons for the Intellivision, and I actually really like to play these tabletop role-playing games. Not only Dungeons and Dragons, but other things too. But having this in video game form is super cool. Having another Intellivision game is super cool, and I love the Intellivision boxes. They open up with a flap, and I'll see the game cartridge, and underneath the cartridge you see a whole bunch of the controller inserts, which is really neat. And over on the left side you see the manual for it as well, which is super cool. And this box is in pretty decent shape. It holds together really well. Some of the other boxes I have aren't, at least in this good of shape. This right here is very sturdy. The little flap that opens up. The outside cover obviously gets, you know, worn a little bit more. Inside is very, very bright. Looks like it hasn't been opened to the sun a lot. This is faded, and the corners and edges are kind of beat up, but very usable box. Very awesome. Very excited about this. And this box is done. So this was my regular box. Now, I said before that I was pretty sure I knew what was going to be my second box. And my second box this month is something they do sometimes that I see is their joke box. And they send you a box of joke games. And it's like, you know, games that you see for like $1, even when they were like brand new. And they, you know, they don't really get played, and so there's, you know, thousands of these games that exist out there, and they're probably not very good. And they're like the Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen games or the Barbie games, and, you know, things like that. Mass-produced games that just aren't made very well. And I think that's what this is. And yeah, so they do this, and you always get your regular box too, but I think it's really cool that they do a joke box. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this up, and I see lots of stuff. And they even say this, the joke's on you. You are the proud owner of this month's joke box. Enjoy these terrible games for free. Thanks for being a VGM member. Pretty hilarious. This is the first time I've gotten the joke box, which I'm excited now. Thank you. Win 3 free games. So let's go ahead and jump in and look at these. What's funny is I don't think I have any of these games, which is super cool. So even if they are a joke, it's helping me fill out the commons of some of my collection. So looking at this first game that I pulled out here, I see for the Game Boy Color Madden 2002. And you know, some of the older Madden games I really like. One of my favorite football games of all time is Madden 1992 for the Sega Genesis. Really fun to play for some reason. I don't know. So, you know, having an older Madden game, not a big deal, but it's still really cool. And I think this is hilarious. So I'll show you a close-up of that so you can, you know, look in all of its glory. Now, jumping in to some of the next ones, I see 2 copies of the same game. I see Barbie Ocean Discovery for the Game Boy. Now, I think these are the carts that you get like additional Game Boy Color features, but they're like, it's that weird time between the Game Boy and Game Boy Color where there were color assets put in there, and so when you played them on a Game Boy Color, there would be color things that could be put on there. But for the regular Game Boy, it would still just play in black and white or green-ish. So yeah, Barbie Ocean Discovery, and I think that's all I'm going to say about that. So I'll let you guys get a close-up of those. But yeah, having 2 of this game, man, I'm pretty lucky. Oh man. So also for the Game Boy Color, I see NSYNC Get to the Show. This is going to be hilarious. I'm actually going to play this. This is going to be really fun. Confession time. I listen to a lot of the music that my older sister and mom listen to, so I grew up on boy band music. Like, it's one of those things where I'm kind of not ashamed, but I am all at the same time. But it's great. It's going to be so awesome. I'm going to play this, and it's going to be fantastic. So yes, NSYNC Get to the Show. Now I see 2 Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen games. One is Mary-Kate and Ashley Pocket Planner, and it is a very plain looking label. I'm not actually sure what's on it, so maybe you guys will have to leave a comment down in the description box or down in the comments below if you know what this is, and kind of show me some stuff on there. This one would be, I think, like a time waster, like just to kind of open it up and see what it is. So I'll let you guys look at that. And the next one is Mary-Kate and Ashley Get a Clue. So this is when they were younger. They had a show, and so, you know, Get a Clue. They probably had a lot of these kind of games that just kind of came out based on some of their more popular episodes or stories or whatever. So yeah, Mary Kate and Ashley get a clue. Now, so I love gimmicky things on video game consoles. Like, I love the whole gimmick of the motion stuff on the Wii, and I really like the motion capture stuff, or the motion tracking stuff of like the Kinect and the iToy and all the cameras and the VR, and I love that stuff. I think it makes it really, really interesting gameplay. I love it when game companies change it up a little bit. I understand it's not for everybody, and I understand that it doesn't always work really well, but when it does, it's really cool. And so I have been really liking getting some Kinect games recently, and so I see 2 copies of Kinect Adventures for the Xbox 360. Both look to be in good condition. They both feel kind of heavy, so maybe they have the manuals. This one has the manuals and all the stuff that kind of goes with it. And the disc looks very good, maybe played very sparingly. The next one also has the manuals, and I think all the stuff, yeah, just kind of in a different order. And then the game, if I can get it out of here. These, you always feel like you're gonna break the disc when you try to get some of these more difficult ones open, and I'm always really like, oh, I'm gonna take a break, I'm gonna take a break, I'm gonna break it, and it's gonna happen. So let me open it up, and this one looks to be in even better condition. Probably never been played, I wonder why. And so the Kinect Adventures for the Xbox 360 Kinect. So this was actually a really good haul. Joke box aside, really, really cool. I really even liked a lot of these joke games. That's yeah, I think it's gonna be really fun to kind of start digging through these and putting them in my backlog and playing them a little bit. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to see more from my channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well. And if you have a question, leave it down in the comment section. Also in the description box, besides Video Game Monthlies or VideoGamesMonthly.com, I will also have links to all my social media: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, things like that. So you can check me out on any of those. I post a lot to those, so if you want to check me out there, that's great. Well, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.